Thanks for staying with us. So, allegedly, late Chief Emmanuel Umuaya's will sparked controversy online as details allegedly of his will included a clause that barred his wife, Frances Chinonyerem Inwerem, from remarrying if she wishes to keep her inheritance. This condition was revealed in the will, which was made public. According to the document, she will forfeit all her properties, including the legacy house in Owerri, the Magill furniture and real estate stakes, if she decides to remarry. While this report has not been debunked yet by the family, it's not a scenario that's alien to us in Africa. So the conversation is on the issue, not on the persons.
Right.
What will make a man keenly interested in whether his wife is remarries or not after his own demise? Should a husband's will control a widow's life after his death? Do you think a spouse's inheritance should be affected if they choose to remarry? That's our conversation issue. So let's remove the person or the persons involved, because we're focusing on the African issue here. You can call us on 020-1635-2013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. So, when a man dies and he's about to die, or he doesn't even know he's dying, he writes a will. Let's just assume he writes a will and says that my 38-year-old wife, young woman, not even, they never crossed 40.
Young and fine.
Young and beautiful woman, said that if I die, you cannot remarry. If you remarry, you lose all the wealth that you have today. How do you interpret this in your own mind? Who'd like to go first, Gemma?
Okay, so I'd like to point out a few facts.
Okay.
10, 12 years before that, this person, taking out the person anyway, but this person in this particular scenario also lost a spouse. 2 years after, you get married.
That's the woman.
The man?
The man.
Yes.
He had a first wife.
Then 10 years down the line, another person is put in that same position you were in, but you give the person a clause to say, after I'm gone, you cannot remarry. If you do, you lose everything. Now that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, the clause is, do not remarry.
Doesn't mean you can have a boyfriend.
Doesn't mean you can have a lover. Doesn't mean you can have a partner.
Live in.
It didn't state you can't have other children. So that clause, for me, looking at it critically, begins to make me think or wonder. From the perspective of the man, it could be a thing about just wanting to protect his legacy,
security,
protect his, would I say, bloodline, because in the situation where the woman gets married at the end of the day, it gives whoever she is married to, her spouse, legal rights, legal access to his properties.
Okay, that's an angle.
Okay. I'd like to know what happens after she dies. What happens to the property? I wish there's a clause or there's something else that will happen to the property, because I feel that so many people in life just are very materialistic. You're dead, you're dead. Whatever you've left, you just hope to have people that can preserve your legacy. You can't. How long will you do it? At most, maybe the next 30, 40 years, it's gone. You know, so how much longer can you hold on to this stuff? So, but let me go from the other angle. He had a wife that built the legacy with him. He would likely, maybe he's respecting the memory and the legacy of the wife who built this with him. And you can tell, maybe he has seen some questionable characters that he has said, okay, I don't think this woman will cherish what I have. I don't think, we've seen so many people after they die, their houses, their kids abandon the houses and travel abroad. And at the end of the day, everything just dies off. One thing I want to mention is there are women who marry these rich men because of their money. So I also feel that it's a way of letting those women who go in just for the money to know that nothing for you, because people can be as bad as, okay, just wanting to make sure they unalive their partner just to get access to the wealth. It's just alleging. But we know there are people that love money that much. So looking at it from that angle, you will not really blame him, especially if she has ulterior motive. But maybe I'm thinking that clause will have a timeline. Maybe after 50 years, maybe the lawyer will have it somewhere. After 40 years, 50 years, okay, you can now release it to so person, or if you don't get married to a certain age.
Maybe they're giving it to other people. But I'll come back to you, Abigail. Let me come to you, Amaka. What are your thoughts when you heard this thing?
Okay, so my thoughts is because something I can relate with, right? First of all, I beg to differ when we talked about like it's just property, 30 years, 40 years. All over the world, monarchies in Rome, everywhere in the world, legacies have been preserved like this for generations, hundreds of years. And I come from and this is personal to me because I come from a family where my great-grandfather was a king, my great-grandmother was so wealthy, she married other women to bear her name. And the will in my family is that properties don't pass to the wives. It stays in the family for generations. So I come from this kind of family where if you're married into the family, you don't get the property. It has to pass from generation. It has to pass within the children.
Only the sons.
No, the daughters. The daughters, the sons. Women are powerful from where I come from. So it passes, family legacy continues. And I don't think there's anything wrong in that. So it's not personal to him doubting his wife. And I'm happy you know that he had a wife before. Also built that. So it has nothing to do. He has made sure that the wives are always provided for till the day they die. They are well taken care of. And like Choma said, you can have a living lover, you can have a partner, you can do whatever. But you can't remarry and take that property outside of that family to your husband's place. Because if someone has bequeathed something to you, that there's a legacy line to that property, and you get married to somebody else, within the law, like as in if it's a court marriage, a civil marriage, the property he has access to it. And then the children, which is first generation, has lost something, has lost the legacy and an inheritance that can take care of them and their children.
So it's not about selfishness, because in my own view, my own response is that this is a selfish man. Why would he deny a woman he said he loves the riches that they built together? But now you're explaining that in some families it is a generational wealth to be passed on. I guess that wasn't clear there. But now in the modern times where we're saying modern marriages, once I have married you, we share, it's 50-50. Should those generational laws still stand in 2025? It's a question, because it's important for us to look at it, because you are okay with it, but your child might not be okay with it. Your niece might not be okay with it, because they were evolving. They're no more living in this side of town. Many of them are maybe living in different countries, and I'm wondering, I don't want that wealth. No, it's mine now. We're going to share it. I'm going to hand it over. So my question is does it still serve us to retain those kinds of laws, if indeed it exists, as Amaka has alluded to?
If I may state, I do not think he's a selfish person, because what he bequeathed to her was really a lot.
Yes, a lot.
It's a lot. So that's a man who values her. Else he probably would have left her in the care of the family to say, give to her whatever you think, and which will be monetary, say every month, or do you get what I mean? If we're looking at these laws and saying, are they relevant to us in modern times, I would now begin to ask, where is the place of prenups?
Exactly.
There weren't prenups back in the days, but now we have prenups. They are it's the same law, but we find name. Same old. Do you get what I mean? So it's not really about culture or us as a people. I think it's an individual thing as well. It's an individual thing. It's an individual fear as well. It's also feeds off experiences, whether personal experiences or experiences we have seen other people live through. So it puts people in positions where there are trust issues. And those trust issues can lead people to now take decisions like, how am I sure you're coming into this for me and not for the money? And so to prove that you're in this for me, we're putting it on paper.
So my question now again, Choma, is when we make it look as if marriage should be about love, for me, this is just transaction. And I think as much as we like to watch all these romance movies and I feel like, oh, I fell in love. Going back to what it really is, it's transactional.
Most of the time.
Why is it now time for us now in 2025 to face the reality That this is why we're looking for marriage. I want to meet somebody tall, dark, and handsome. It's not about that. It's about what can you bring to the table. Because according to what I'm seeing here, this woman married at the age of 26. She's 38. She's a young woman. A 38 woman who should be able to remarry or even have a lover. Now, the thing is that if we say it's okay to have a lover, morally it is wrong in our side. So which side are we standing on?
So,
because I'm getting confused. 1 second say, oh, she stayed married. And that man is like, well, he didn't say he shouldn't have a lover now. But she's not supposed to have a lover. So what are we allowing?
So I'm going to talk from, I have 2 points on this issue, what you just said. So the first one is, I can't overemphasize the fact that people don't talk about a lot of certain conversations, financial conversations before this marriage. And I keep saying, and people think that, oh, Amaka, I love money so much and I want to be secured in the love, right? And you should think the same way too. If I'm marrying a wealthy man that has created wealth before I met him, we have to have a sit down and have a conversation. You should not be scared or feel embarrassed or, I don't know, about having certain conversations that matter to yourself, your children, and your future. What's going on? How will I be taken care of? You had children before I came into the picture. Okay, are you buying certain properties in my name that are my own?
Just because you're married, just start buying property in your name.
But people do it. Yes.
Marry you.
No. Morayo, people do that because if someone loves you and then he knows that he wants to keep certain things within his family, he settles you. A lot of people do that. No, Morayo, it's not because they need to protect it. Every day we talk about generational wealth, and that's why the Jews are the strongest financial. This is where they are today because they keep it within the Jewish community, and they've built generational wealth, and that's what everybody should aim to achieve: generational wealth. And I think there should be a school that teach people now how to create generational wealth, how to keep it, and how to maintain legacies and certain things, which I think we are lacking. Because if you check historically in African culture, where we had the kings, the queens, where we had certain things, I think we are losing our culture too as Africans.
Okay, so I actually align with you in that aspect. Chino Achebe says, do not forget where the rain starts to beat you. So you see that most of our culture, we are battling with passing our culture and tradition to the next generation because most of our cultures have been lost in transit. I thought my millennial child thinks it's archaic, it's barbaric, and she jettisons it or he throws it away and decides to teach him how to play Nintendo and the rest of them. He doesn't know how to play Sway and all those games, you know. It's already getting lost. And I think many people want many things. Different people want different things. What I would want in life might be different from what you want in life. My legacy might just be, okay, let me create it for myself. People get immortalized after they die. And till they die, someone like Dangote, I don't think you'll forget him in a hurry. You know, he doesn't have to say, do not marry for this property and all that. But I actually feel that one way he's trying to preserve and protect her is to maybe save her from, you know, those vultures that will want to, the wife of late this person, there will be money. It's on this table, okay, maybe on the Pigeon Show where we talked about a lady who had inheritance from her late husband. One man comes complaining, I told her my business is dwindling. I brought her from the house, the mansion she's staying in, to stay in my 2-bedroom. I've been feeding her family. I've told her to sell one of the property and give me to do my business. Those kind of self-entitled men that we know are everywhere this time.
Exactly.
You know, they are praised. I feel is a way to protect her because if that clause is existing and a man is coming in, he knows that there's nothing for you, no shishi for you, so you can't come back and take this. But I am saying...
Okay, because I want you guys to understand me.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with everything you said, but I just don't want us to be hypocritical. A young woman is in love. She wants to get married. We encourage her to find the bone of her bone, the person that like you guys can have, find your friend. Find, you know, we keep telling these young people these things. But the girl is telling herself that, I don't want to find all those things. I want a 70-year-old rich man that can take care of me. That's all I want. We discourage her. The society discourages her. But she's like, because I want to be pampered. I cannot come and kill myself. So this 70-year-old man would marry me. Now, according to what Amaka is saying that, okay, even if you marry a 70-year-old man, what are the terms of engagement? Now, you give me this, you give me that. When you die, this is what I get. My question, therefore, is, are we encouraging this type of marriage? Because we've always discouraged young people to just go for money. But I'm not saying that's what this woman went for. But is this an acceptable option for a young woman saying, no, I just want to, I don't care about love, I don't care about connection, I don't care about conversation. I just want somebody that can care for me, period. And is that something that society is saying we need to start looking into? Because if we are seeing this woman's situation and saying that it's okay, that man loved her enough to at least allow her to stay in the marriage until whenever she's ready to go. As long as she doesn't leave that marriage, she can stay with his wealth. So we are recognizing it as love. If you're recognizing that as love, would you also recognize that for somebody, a young person who just wants to enter that kind of marriage and say, okay, auntie, when you get to 30 years, there's a possibility this man might die and you not get anything if you leave the marriage. Are we okay with that? That's really what I'm saying.
The truth is, from Nigerian adult age is 18. So at 18, whatever life decision you take, I think you're solely responsible. Nobody tells you
Society
what to
doesn't
do.
allow you
So that's why they say do not allow, so because society will crumble you. Society is there to guide you, but society is not there to rule you. Because first of all, what's your happiness? Where do you find your happiness? We can't say all these young girls getting into those kind of marriage, they all went there because of taking care of them. I think sometimes they just want to, that's what they love. Back then in school, in my university days, there was this girl that said she can never date a young guy. She would always go for an older person. And you would see how she loves them genuinely. She said she likes to take care of them. So we can't generalize that every young person getting into a certain marriage of age bracket, they are going because of the money. But I actually feel that people can express or be where they want to be. That part, you said something about, okay, you want to go
ahead.
You said something about,
I think I have to go on a break. When I come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation. I think is leading us to that question: should a woman marry for love or for money? Especially in this time, when life, when you're in your young 20s, you're likely to want to marry for love. When you're 30s, you're looking for both. When you're 40s, you're not even interested in love. Just get the cash, bro. But I mean, that's my own thinking. But I mean, what do you think with all what we're saying? Because I have seen so many stories where people who married for love today, they're doing okay. They are coasting through life, and they're paying their bills. They're getting the business. They're still hustling. But there are some people who didn't care about it, went straight for the bullseye, and they're having that baby girl feel, and they're fine. Now, it might come with clauses like this. But it's the smart ones who are able to save money aside, put money aside, and have things in their own name. So even when clauses like this happen, they are okay independently. So the question is it still okay to marry for love?
Mo, you may say that the smart ones are able to pull out things for themselves and put things in their names. It's not always as easy as you say. Most times their lives are so, straight-jacketed. That you can't do anything, you can't buy anything, you can't go anywhere, you can't take a decision without getting an approval first. Now, for me, I'm not of the school of thought that marriage is a transaction, right? Yeah.
You still believe in love?
Oh, very much so. I still believe in love. And I believe that because at the end of the day, what makes giving pleasurable is that it is motivated by love. Yes. Right? So even if I have one and I'm willing to sacrifice or I'm willing to share, it's because I love. And it makes it bearable for me who is letting go of all that I have. Now, no one knows what's going on in the minds of people when they take such decisions as to whether they're signing prenups or doing all of that. But I still believe very much in the institution of marriage. I still believe very much in love. Because at the end of the day, even take marriage away, what will life be like without love?
Let me take this call from Castro. Thanks for calling from Enugu. You're live. Good morning, Castro.
Good morning. How are you?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Am I on to TVC?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Good morning. How are you?
Good
Very well.
morning.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Caller.
Don't listen to the TV. Listen to me. Go ahead.
Please, I am interested in this discussion
Yes.
because you people are actually taking out from your family.
Okay.
I am talking to you. I am talking. I say I'm interested in this discussion.
You have the
Because
floor. Go ahead.
Language that it is being in more feministic in nature because you didn't bother to think about what holds for us here in the Southeast. We have a tradition. If a man loses his spouse and decides to take another wife, good and well. Without mentioning your referral person, ought to believe that he was trying to guard against, fortune seekers who want to poach on this lady because he's gone and want to be part of his, which maybe government might not be part of. And like one of you pointed out, the letter document never said, don't marry a woman. It said, if you must marry, leave my items for me, okay? You have to leave what you got from me. That's what you got from this will. That is the caveat there. It never said don't marry. But I tell you very frankly, I was very fair in his sharing. For him to have given the lady so much attention, his wife, with so many surviving children of the first family of the first wife, with whom he was able to make all those well before even this lady came in. He was so faithful to her. So if your anger or your quarrel is with the fact that he said, provided you do not remarry, a woman is at 38 or thereabouts or 40, that may be the case. Then she has a baby.
Okay. Thank you, Castro.
Okay.
So my question to you ladies is, if you were in her shoes, what would you do?
I was going to say we are not angry. There's a topic for conversation. We come from different angles. It's not our business. It's not our family
He said
member.
we're angry. I didn't hear that
so
part.
you
Even
don't
the
have to
angle
be
he
angry.
pointed out, Abigail had mentioned.
Yeah, rather than
Mentioned it,
maybe
yes.
protecting her. We've
Yes,
already said
said
that.
that, yes.
First of all, he started by saying feministic. We don't have feministic conversations here. We spread out our opinion,
views,
and you have the floor to talk too, if you have to.
Yes.
Thank you. I know I have things in my ears, so I hardly hear what he said, but I'm happy you heard it.
So I wanted to go back to what we were talking about, the love conversation. I'm such a lover girl, right? I believe in love. This life cannot exist without love. I'm a flower girl. And then I also want to take it from the perspective that, Mario, what happens to me being a lover girl and then also saying that I don't want money, I just want love, I just want you, I don't care about any other thing. If all this money and this world goes, baby, it's just you I want. What happens to that?
Does that still exist?
Of course. What happens to that? That is love. Love,
doesn't exist,
look at your, I don't know. It's
Nollywood, though.
No, it's not Nollywood. Let me tell you
it's not.
something.
It's
No,
real.
Let me ask you a
I know
question.
it's real. No, I'm just saying. I have to play the devil's advocate. But the truth is, I know it's real. All those young girls, especially those, I love you, I just look there, love is good, and Tokwe will kill me because Tokwe is a lover girl too. But the truth is that I think we've all matured to a point where we see life a bit better now. And love is good, but other things are also equally good. And it's important for you to see things in proper perspective. So I'm not against love.
I was going to ask you, you love this person, love the only shack, first 5 years, 10 years, but imagine you're in love with someone and then you're sick, he can't take you to the hospital. You have problems, he can't be there. At some point, that love will start dying. It will start dying. Davido said it, love is sweet, but when money enters,
I think
it's not just love.
We're not stating that love is enough.
I am a lover girl myself. I'm a lover girl myself, but people don't love makes people jump into stupid conclusions.
You've not answered my question.
You would see it.
If you are Francis, what would you do? While you're thinking about it, let me take this call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. This is David from Ikorodu.
Hello, David. Go ahead, please. You're live.
I think, first of all, all of you are doing a fantastic job. Really, really appreciate you all for what you do.
Thank you.
Now, I think we should look at it from another angle. Now, I have a friend, one of my very good friends. He saw this lady, she's a single mother, very wealthy, she has businesses, everything. And he would, later on, they started going out. Meanwhile, the motive of this, our friend, was that because the lady was very successful and she's doing very well, her businesses, that was the motive in which he had. Now, it begins to depend on this lady by extorting her, baby, I need this, baby, I need, all those tactics. That he drained this woman, that all her businesses went down. The lady loved him so much. I've never seen such an intoxicated love before. Even he used to say that, this guy loved me more than my ex-husband. Are you getting it? So the thing is, the reason why some men make some or put some clauses in this type of thing is because, one, they know their wife that maybe the woman is not matured enough financially that she might fall. And you know that there are wolves like this all over the place, whether we like it or not. I'm a guy, but I know that there are wolves like that in sheep clothing. Two, we do not know the other side of the bill that the guy presented, that maybe he says maybe after she's 40 or 50, then she can now remarry. But I do not support the motion that that statement that he did with the lawyer is permanent, that the woman must not marry you maybe till she dies. That one is
okay. No, so what we have allegedly on the paper is that she's allowed to marry, but she just can't do it with her property.
Yes.
So we understand the part of the possibility that she's being protected. We get that. You've established that. There's a possibility that maybe he suspected that this woman might leave me or something. We understand that. But that third part of what if it's the possibility of a pure selfish person, the fact that I just don't want you to leave, because in death I want to control you. In death I want to make sure that you are still mine, that you have nothing to do. In that situation, if she were your sister, what would you advise her?
If we look at it from the purely selfish standpoint, we can see that he's not a selfish man. You know why? He did not ask her to forfeit everything she has acquired over a period of time that she has been with him. Just properties that she got within the will. Yeah, so they've been together for so long. So many other things. He didn't say your jewelries, your diamonds, there's so many other things that he didn't. That it shows that he's not a selfish, motivated person. He's just trying to keep the properties within the family and protect the legacy. Because if not, he will have said you forfeit every other thing you've acquired within the time you came into marriage.
And I like the fact that he mentioned different property for different
purposes.
Next of kin. Yes. Yeah. He told her, this is what you are entitled to, this is what you're inheriting. That's why I will also say that women should try to work for themselves. No matter the man you marry, try to work for yourself, because you don't know tomorrow, you don't know what will happen. So for me, if I was in her shoes, I would stay and mourn my husband and I would take time to make this decision, because, we make our decisions based on experiences.
Would you have a lover?
My experience, if I love him deeply and I have to mourn him for a period of time, I will allow myself heal. After healing, you can't tell your tomorrow from today. So after healing, if I see the chance or the needs to find a lover, I will have a lover. If in course of the relationship it's progressing to marriage, I will know that I have to forfeit it, because I'm not a lazy person. I have enough to sustain me. I will not carry the property and go to America if I want to go to America. So these are life decisions that you will take sometime in future along the line. You're not tied to, you must not marry. You can now say, okay, this is what I want. I want the money, so I will stay. But you know that you're even stuck. You can't move. I want to move, so you can keep your property, and I'm going with what I have.
Okay, let me take Onobaja. Thanks for calling Onobaja. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I would say that you ladies are doing a pretty good job.
Thank you, sir.
God Almighty bless you abundantly.
Thank
I
you.
want to say that this is my take on this. Marriage is living for each other. Living for each other. And as regards the inheritance stuff, I want to say the woman was not eat and take and have it. If she wants to stay, then she should abide what is in the womb. So far, she loves the man. I don't know what age she is right now. I don't know. May I ask, what are age now?
38 years.
38, 38.
38. Can you see? That is why I'm of the. This is my take on this also. I don't advise younger ladies marrying older men. I don't advise it. Most of the time, I see it as not really love. Because how can you marry somebody?
Must it be love? That's the question, Mr. Onabanjo. Must it be love? Can't I just marry? Must it be love? I just want security. I want somebody to have a house, a car, house helps that can help me, and I'm living my life.
Yes, everything must be based on love. Morayo, everything must be based on love.
Why?
The man foresees the future. He has seen the gap between his age and his wife's age. That is why he left that clause on that will. That is why. It's because of the age barrier. He knew that perhaps he will go before that lady. And he knowing the lady's age, that is why he put that clause there. So that is it. That is it. If you want to move on,
sometimes growing up, they tell us about arranged marriages. You know, that it's not about love. Just take somebody that will just take care of you. Come and say, Baba, you know that will be the father to your children. That's all you need. You have your own place and you are independent as a woman. So I hear everybody. I'm trying to put the conversation on the table so that we are very clear. You know, it's always easier to say, oh, she can have a lover, but society surrounds a woman having a lover without marriage. So at what point is it okay for a woman to say, okay, I just want a lover? How in Nigeria you just have a lover for having a lover, and you are both of you are doing intimate stuff, marriage stuff?
You get tired.
So what exactly are we saying? Let me go on a very short break. Anyway, maybe we'll find a way to wrap up this conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So one of the things I like to do in Your View is when we get to this part of the conversation, we say, okay, if this Auntie Francis is our sister, just imagine she's here in the middle here, and we're advising her, what is the best thing to do? Because, you know, there are different options. If you say, I have fallen, so your husband's name was John, and you are falling in love with Jim, and your John said, you cannot take my property if you fall in love with somebody else. Now, you fall in love with Jim, and you guys have said you have to marry. You said, okay, I will dump the properties, I will leave it. You're not going to meet Jim. A year later, you realize that Jim is in debt. All the things you thought that Jim was going to bring to the table is zero balance.
You have kids.
And then you're thinking, no, you're 38 years old. You just say your kids are still in fairly...
Your kids have property.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, they can't access their properties just yet. The point I'm trying to make is that, what if that's your plan B, your new love fails? Are you not better off just staying jelly with Jim's property till you are 80, 90 and you go to the great beyond?
If you're a lazy person. If you're a lazy person, because I don't think the path I've gotten to in life, even if a man, okay, so for her to get to that, for her to be able to marry and manage that man, that means she has some sense of
Abigail, some people are like you. Some people just like to live a soft life.
Aside from that, the kind of wealth and lifestyle we're talking about that she has tasted. Anna cannot leave Jim for John for Jim, because that life. We're talking PJ life. We're talking the lifestyle is huge, is massive, baby. So
Igbo people,
you won't rush into
Igbo
marriage.
people used to say something. What's
that?
They don't used to use poverty and suffer, carry it on your head and be doing a big brag and be doing gra. You don't pay anybody you. The reason why you wake up every day and you're sitting down here and you're working is because you want financial independence.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's better that you've not tasted something than you've tasted and you cannot taste it again. My sister, don't worry.
Do you know what I'm saying? Let's say, I don't expect her to jump into marriage. Of course, that would be foolishness on her part to do that. But she's allowed to date, right? You can date. But if peradventure, after 10 years, you now fall in love, you want to get married.
The man you're dating wants to settle down now.
Okay, let's just say 10 years after you're settling down. How old are the kids? The kids will grow to a certain stage. And those kids, you know, African kids, if your mother says, I'm hungry, they will want to take care of their mom.
So you'll be fine.
So you still have
you have an insurance.
But she's my sister sitting down beside me. I'll tell her, Sisi, you say you're in love. You love this guy. This Jim. You cannot breathe without him. You can't sleep without him. You want to leave the money and find happiness and marry. Whatever comes. Marriage is, nobody knows tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can have money today, you don't have tomorrow. You cannot have tomorrow, you have a bit because nobody is God.
So you want advise her to have a lover?
No, His life is about choices. Now just give her the A and the B. Then let her choose. I mean, one choose for her.
For me,
I already know what I'll choose for
what
myself.
I would advise her,
Don't worry.
if she was sitting here, I would tell her, what you need to do now is plan. Plan for today, plan for tomorrow, and have an exit plan. So
she's 38,
you
you're
have these properties, you have this wealth. The properties, obviously, she's not going to live in them. There are things that are rented, leased, and things like that. So it's definitely going to be yielding income. Nobody will. I do not think that anybody will be collecting that income from her.
True.
So plan your life. I do not even expect you to have a lover in the next 3, 4, 5 years. I'm sorry. So take that time now. Sit down and begin to invest in you. Begin to ask yourself pertinent questions. Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? He's no longer in the picture. It's just me now. Okay, I want to have this, I want to have that. I have this inflow from what I have been given. I cannot sell the properties off, but I can make something out of it.
Investment.
So why don't I make something out of it?
Give myself like 10
why
years.
don't I buy stocks? Why don't I buy bonds? Why don't I make investments? Why don't I use the yields from that to buy other properties and start beginning to build my own wealth and my own income.
I can exit then.
So
So
that
you don't
becomes
need
my
it
exit
anymore.
plan.
Oh.
So somewhere around 45, I can still find love.
Yes.
I can do IVF.
Absolutely.
I can do surrogacy.
Absolutely.
I can do
You don't even
anything
need to
I
born
want
again.
and have
Just
children.
go
And if I want bond, I bond.
And aside from that, we can also tell that she's a smart person because he trusted her with the responsibility of managing one of his businesses over time. So we know that she has good business acumen.
Let me take Tunde from Agodo. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, how are you? First
Yes,
of all,
good.
where is Nima? Is she
Nima
still
is,
eating
Nima
layer
is not
meat?
here yet. She'll be back soon.
Is she still eating layer meat?
She'll be back very
She's still
soon.
eating layer. So let me contribute to what you are saying. Let me tell you something. My mother's friend. Hello?
Go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, my mother's friend. The husband died. She was 35. The man was 38. You know, she has 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl. And the woman didn't remarry. Up to now, the woman, she's at mid-80s. She trained these children. One of them was commissioner. One of them was executive in the banks. So it depends on the lady. Then concerning about love, there's no love in Nigeria. The love existed during our mother's days. The only language for love in Nigeria now is money. No, so
You're not generalizing. You're not generalizing too much.
The only thing some ladies marry big men is just because of money and security. A lady can have a security for herself if she's working hard. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, a lady can have security for herself if she's working hard and she can provide for herself, not to wait for another man, an old person to marry. A man that's supposed to be your father. There's no love in Nigeria nowadays. If you don't have money, forget about love. If you are crippled, you are assuming the money, ladies will go after you. That's the only thing.
Okay, so thank you very much, Tunde. You know, let me start with that cripple part and I'll come back to the staying celibate you talked about earlier. You see, I think, as we grow older, and we see life, we realize that at the end of it all, everybody's hustling. At the end, when you are 90, you're going to look back and say, okay, what have I done? Because if you think of all these things, we try to make life so complicated. If somebody says, I want to marry only for money, they are well within their right to say, that is what I want to do. And you'll be surprised. The reason why I talk like this is because I have seen different homes. I come from a polygamous family. And I live there and I'm a Lagos girl. Both my parents are from Lagos. I'm from this town. I have seen different scenarios. And I've seen those women, during my mother's time, that my mother and her clique, they used to look at them, those ones, husband 1, husband 2, look at them. They used to, I know the cliques. That clique, my sister, they are still alive and well today. They are happy. Those my mommy's clique that were doing, we are just one man. They've gone to the great beyond. Things happen. I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I'm just saying that you never know.
True.
Because those people today I still run into them at parties. I still knew that, mommy,
they have kids and grandkids.
They are fine. They didn't have any husband. They went for the bullseye. They went for the man with the cash. And that cash is sustaining them today. And they're in their 90s and they are happy. So there are different, let us not always have this moralistic perspective that it has to be love or nothing. Some people can say, it is money I'm looking for, and that money is what I need. And it is also valid. And that's the point I'm trying to make. I think somebody was going to say something else. Okay, we have to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll take a few comments on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's take a few comments on social media. Yes.
Okay, so G says, my mother's friend Seth remarried at about 60 years, about 8 to 10 years after her husband died. It's always easy for a man to remarry at 80. Why not a woman? She deserves companionship.
Aunt Nam says, if you worry about what people think, you're holding yourself back, as long as you're not foolish. And then
talking about remarried, my mother, I was telling my mother when she was alive that she needed to remarry. She was thinking, I am married to Jesus. There is no way. Nobody is touching me again. I'm thinking, well, now take it easy. But so I understand that whole thing of selling. But I wanted to take a point that this issue of how society sees widowhood. Because one of our callers was saying something. That somebody's husband died at the age of 38 or
38 and she was 35.
And she stayed till the 80s. Now, society will applaud her. She was loyal. She raised her children. Her children are her husband. She's a good woman. Does that still hold water today? Because a lot of 60-year-old women are looking like they're 40s. And they look like they're ready to... I don't understand. I don't understand. Does that still make sense today? Would you advise somebody who becomes a widow in her mid-30s or early 40s to stay single till the day she dies?
That you're widowed at 35 doesn't stop you from being horny every month. It doesn't stop you from needing protection. It doesn't stop you from needing someone to cuddle you at night. They should stop making it look like women are meant to suffer till they die. We know that women are well disciplined. They like to, most women, even when their husbands leave them, when they are widows, they don't want to remarry like the men. But it doesn't mean that they don't have their internal struggles. And most women are going through that struggle, not because they wanted to, but because of what will society say. What would they say? I'm loose and all that. They should allow women to be women. That's why the ones that have the opportunity to be rebellious, they do it out of hand. Because they've been choked, they've been put in that space for too long that they just want to be free. So they should allow women. If they are widowed at 35 and at 40 or 50 they want to get married again or they want to express, they should leave them. The ones that want to stay till 85 too, they should leave them. Personal decisions.
Did we not just hear recently that Pastor Ita was in an interview and he was suggesting?
He wasn't suggesting actually.
I
watched it though.
Did you watch it? Wait,
I watched it. So the guy was asking him. He said when his wife died, he thought it was over.
Just 5 years ago, like yesterday.
And he said he thought it was over. Nothing for love and all that. But if you ask him now, he's open. The interviewer was asking him, do you have a girlfriend? He said there's no girlfriend.
But he said that. He said I can't answer that now.
Okay.
He said something about I don't want to answer that. Something like that. Something very evasive.
Okay, but he said he's actually open to. Men move on easily. 5 years is even.
I don't want Pastor Ita moving on. No, Pastor Ita cannot move on.
That's the second wife.
I refuse. We refuse.
This is so funny.
No. Because
why?
His angelic wife must linger for the next 25 years.
But she was the second, right?
No.
There was a first before her.
The first one we didn't know her. She was.
But there was a first before. If someone could.
This one is our own marriage. This one is globally accepted.
I am using this opportunity.
You are the society we are talking about.
I am using this opportunity to pass a message to our pastors.
Men's mental health month.
We understand you're a man. We understand you have needs. But as that thing called marriage, we say no.
He's a pastor. He
so
can't be
how is he supposed to
fornicating.
meet the needs?
Society
He can't be fornicating.
He said you understand he has needs.
He needs to exercise his prostrate.
Listen, there are some
society
women who are
On the
not having
table.
sex and they are fine. There are some men who are not having sex, and they are very fine. But I'm very, very sure Pastor Adebo is not having sex, and it's fine. And he's alive and well.
Excuse me, Mo, you cannot say you are sure. Number one. And I'm not on that table where you are having that conversation. I have left this chat room. You cannot say you are sure. You are not his best.
You don't want to wrap your head around it.
Damn, Ebika said, the annoying thing is, at this point, whatever that woman does, she will still be judged. If she remarries, they will say she didn't love her husband. If she doesn't remarry, they will call her a gold digger.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, man, thanks for calling your life. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're live.
Hello,
Go
good
ahead,
morning,
please.
gorgeous ladies.
Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Good morning. Yeah, my concern is for the widows. They actually need companion. They are lonely. Let's be frank here, they are lonely. They need somebody to talk to, somebody to call them. Where are you? Are you here? Are you there? If they are sleeping at night, they need somebody to gist with. They need somebody to make plans with. In fact, that's it. So we should try and encourage this in the society for these women to remarry, not just for love or anything, but companionship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I mean, are we going back to PI? You know, I love Pastor. Pastor is my personal pastor, and I love him so much.
Why
and I would love him to be happy.
ended.
And if it is for him to remarry, I mean, if that's what his desire is, I have no issues with it.
It seems like you have.
No, I don't have an issue with it. I might have an issue with it personally, but outwardly, I don't have an issue with it. But inside, it will be choking me. But I will not. But I'm
Pastor, don't be married.
Please. Anyways, but they are using style to tell me to end the show. I'm not ending the show. Let's go back to comments on social media.
Okay, so is it that complicated? I think it's just the feeling that want to always want that person around you for whatever reason. This is coming from Hafsa A. We have a lot of comments here.
There's a widower I know. He lives in Marudu. I will not mention his name. He loved his wife so much. I remember when the woman died. We went to help him bury. The man was distraught. Till now, he has not brought himself to date somebody else.
How many years after?
It's been a while. I can't, it's been a while. It's definitely longer than 5 years. It's definitely longer than 5 years. And I see this man on the street jogging. He has not married. I know a few people that are interested in that relationship. And because when me and him, we just once in a while, when I see him doing that work, you know, I'm quite for a guy, just because his kids are fairly young, doesn't want anybody just coming in, that he's fine. So the reason that's why I said I know there's some men like that that have that kind of self-control. So when we see certain people, I say, not that we don't want you to be happy, but I'm hoping you can exert some kind of self-control to say, in honor of this, the love, because there's some love that I just like you, I love you, let us marry. But there's some pure love that is pure, that you just like this love must be a lifetime. That's the kind of love I see with P.I. and his ex and his late wife. Purity, like that kind of pure love that we want it to last forever, even in our minds.
The difference is the man in your estate is not a pastor, so no one is requiring anything from him. Pastor Itua cannot just, you don't know the ladies that are coming and going in that man's house. So, but Pastor Itua can do it, and if he has needs,
And you know that for a fact.
he's a pastor.
And the truth is, in life, we're all different. There's some men that have high libido, some people have normal libido. So it's in women, low and high. So if you're a man that you love passionately and you have high libido, instead of you to be misbehaving everywhere, be go and remarry.
Okay. Point taken. That's all we can take on today's show. We hope that with these few points of ours, everybody should go and get a will and honor those. Honor those that love you and you love. Make sure that they are well protected even after your demise. That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.